Okay, crafters, and we're back. And what we're going to build now is our really cool sewer drains that drain out into our sewer stream. And they're pretty easy build. And what we're going to do is build them here, build the basic shape, and we'll paint it later. But I'm going to show you how to build this. Is what we're working on this little part of the video. Now, this does use a special piece. This is from a pop dispenser at my wife's work. She got tons of these, and she brings them home for me. And they're a plastic nozzle cover or whatever. Now, I use this for this build, but you may not have something, but you may have something similar. Any kind of round pipe-like piece that you can put coming out of the wall that you can put in there, and it doesn't have to be this. It can be anything that shows the sewer draining out of it, and it needs to be about a ½ inch long, and you will mount it in the wall, and it needs like it could be like a ½ inch pipe and cut, and you put it in there. But well, yeah, this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this nozzle to kind of inspire you to what to do, and I have a 3.5 inch piece of cardboard cut, and I have another 2 inch wide 3.5 inch cardboard cut for the backside of this drain. All right, the first thing we're going to do, just like we have before, we're going to put the stones on the yeah, I pulled it. I guess my tripod went down a little bit in the last video, and it was showing you up real close, so I raised the tripod up a little bit so you can get a better view of what I'm doing and how it's going to build out. Yeah, I cut this here. This is for the one side. You know how it's going. We've been doing this already. So, and then this is so easy to work with. This is part of my Dollar Dungeon series. We're going to make a lot of stuff out of Dollar Tree, and let me grab my hot glue gun. I don't know how I ended up over there, but let me grab my hot glue gun. Here we go, and we'll glue those on there. Yeah, and we're going to be making all kinds of stuff. Simple stuff to make, cheap, and we don't have a Proxxon cutter or XPS foam, which I didn't even want XPS foam looms. I went down to Lowe's, and apparently my Lowe's does not carry that pink insulation foam or whatever they're using. So we're stuck with foam board for this series, guys and girls. Now, just like before, I've glued the two foundations, and then I'm going to do my inch. I use Dollar Tree foam. What I'm using, my inch block pieces, just like we've done before. Here, okay. Get my glue gun again. So, and believe it or not, I know I was talking about that you don't need terrain for everything, and when you're gaming you don't need terrain. Some people that they train out the entire environment. Now it's cool if you can do that. You got the materials to do that, but for the game purposes. But however, I do have a tavern build in the works that I'm wanting to show to y'all. But I think the next one's going to be our foam board dungeons that I'm building. So, like I said, we've done this before. It's not a big deal. I probably could have just skipped this, but I'm having too much fun, so you'll have to bear with me. Yes, you can hear all the planes outside. We have an air base here in Enid, Oklahoma, where I'm from. I've only lived in Enid for 63 years. So I started gaming here in 1979. completely by accident. I didn't even know what gaming was. I picked up we were playing a lot of the, uh, war gaming board games, cardboard pieces, board games and stuff back then. And I happened to pick up a Gamma World box. I didn't even know what role playing was. We don't get it. Enid is kind of really behind the times on a lot of things. And the bookstore had a game called Gamma World, and I picked it up by accident and paid I think it was $10 or $12 for it. I thought it was a war game kind of thing. Back then, in the 70s, war games were popular. And I took it home, and it was like, oh man, what kind of game is this? The rules were indecipherable. So, but I eventually read the example of play, and it all clicked then. Okay, so here is our base piece for the drain. And our next thing is we want to build the back wall of the drain, which I can trim this off some to make it work. There we go. Very good. And then we're going to build the back wall of the drain like this here. And I've cut the foam board to match the back wall that I want to build. Like I said, foam board to me is a little flimsy, so I like to strengthen it with cardboard. All right. So I'm going to glue this to this right off the bat. I'm not a professional video maker, and so you have to bear with me. I'm just showing you how I make things. So, okay, now we've got the back wall built for the drain. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw some brickwork in, because for some reason I think the back wall should have bricks in it. So this is completely freehand. And the way I draw the bricks is, take my pen. Pens are great to use because they actually burn into they actually melt the foam board a bit and gives you a crease. And I first draw a bunch of lateral lines like this. I'm just drawing it by sight. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And, oh, the line's about a 1/4 inch wide. They don't have to be perfect. Okay. And you don't really need the line for the bottom half, because that's where the drain's going to go. Okay, what you want to do, you want to offset the bricks. So you draw a set of bricks like this, just all freehand, and then offset them. And then you just kind of build it like that. See what I'm saying? You kind of offset the bricks like that. There we go. And that's going to go on the end here, like this. And I can trim this up a little bit. This nice thing with these cardboard and foam builds, you can just trim them up the way you want. Make it work. Okay, that's going to go there on the end. Now, I want to add the pipe. Okay, so I'm just going to guesstimate it, just for the series of video. I actually would probably, and I'm going to press this in to give me the spot where I want the pipe to go. And I'll take my little X-Acto knife, cut out that indentation. No, there's no script, people. The bloopers are in there, so the whole thing could be a blooper. We don't know. There's no script. So I started with Gamma World in 1979, and of course I moved on to an incredible amount of role-playing games in the 80s. I think I played everything imaginable. I ran D&D for several years, and had like 14 players at my table regularly for D&D. Anyhow, I'm trying to cut this whole out, so like I said, there's no script. We're just playing it by ear here. And I'm seriously trying not to stab myself with this X-Acto knife, but I think we got to it. Here we go. I've cut the hole out for where my drain pipe's going to go. All right. Now, normally, I would paint this separately, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and put this in there, glue it in there, and then I'll paint it separately later, just for the sake of the video. Putting the hot glue in there. Pressing it down, kind of even it up. There you go. You get the idea of it. So, and then from there, we will just glue. Like I said, this is for the sake of the video. Normally I would take a little more time with this, but for the sake of the video, let's get through it. And I will just glue that right there. There we go. And there is your drain plug, or your drain. And we'll paint that later, let the glue dry. And I do have a level. I didn't think about this. Maybe I could level it out. There. There we go. Just make sure it's standing straight up. No, there you go. That's your basic drain idea. I craft better when I'm not on camera, but there you go. We will just use that as our drain. Always trim it up or whatever, and it's going to go here. You can see how it's starting to formulate into a modular build. Kind of thing. All right, gang. What we're going to next step is we're going to do some painting. So I will see you on the flip side. Bye for now.